Alright yo, welcome back to Cage IQ. Today we're going to be talking about last night's UFC Fight Night card and a couple fights that will be coming up in the future that I am very intrigued by. So without further ado, let's get into it. Run the intro. Alright, first things first, let's talk about last night's card, or the card on Saturday night. Whenever you're watching this, it was headlined by Strickland and Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. And overall, the card was mid, I'm not gonna lie to you. The prelims kind of dragged it down, but it did get better towards the end, with a lot more finishes. So I'd give it a solid 5.5 out of 10. Now, as for the fights themselves, let's start with the first one, which was Juliana Miller versus Carly Judice. Now, Carly Judice came in this as the heavy favorite, and for good reason, because Juliana Miller is terrible. She does not have any striking, and for the most part, she got pieced up on the feet. She got a couple takedowns, threatened submissions here and there, but I think at the end, maybe in the third round, that was the only time where Judice was kind of in danger. Other than that, it was a clear 30-27 to Carly Judice. So I think she should get a little step up in competition, someone around the top 15, maybe outside of it, like a Miranda Maverick type of beat, you know what I mean? And as for Juliana Miller, yeah, get her ass out of here. I ain't gonna lie. Regional scene is calling your name. Now, next fight on the card was Jordan Levitt versus Yadier Del Valle. Now, this fight was also ass, but for different reasons. Yadier Del Valle is a fraud. I think we knew this from the last bout because Isaac Dogarian is supposedly supposed to be the better grappler out of both of them. But yeah, he won by first round submission. I wonder why. Do your homework on that. But yeah, that one already gave me question marks on how good he really was, because if you're throwing fights, I don't know, you can't be a clear favorite, especially against a grappler who's moving down, so you know he has a strength advantage, and he showed it in this fight. And for the couple minutes they were on the feet, yeah, Del Valle looked like shit. He didn't land anything, just swinging and missing, no technique, nothing was there, and it was a bad performance from him, I'm not gonna lie. As for Jordan Levitt, I mean, it was a good performance. He's 6-3 in the UFC now, good for him. Give him somebody else in the featherweight division. Let's see what he's really made of, you know what I mean? Anyway, Phil Rowe versus John Paul Bosniani. Phil Rowe lets a lot of fights get away from him, just based off his faith and like his fight IQ and his slow starts. I don't know why he does this a lot, but hey, it is what it is. Can't really change who he is now at 35 years old. So yeah, John Paul Bosniani came in there using a lot of takedowns, and yeah, he was getting them. He needed to get them, or else I think Phil Rowe would have took over the fight and won, because I low-key saw him fading a little bit, just a little bit. But yeah, he did just enough to get the win in his debut, so good for him. Give him another layup. Well, I'd say give him like a layup, just to, boost his confidence. But who knows what the UFC is gonna do nowadays. Next fight was Puna Soriano versus Ramiz Brahimaj. This fight was kind of dull, I'm not gonna lie. Soriano landed a couple big shots here and there, and yeah, Brahimaj really had nothing for him on the feet. He was shooting a lot of takedowns. He shot 11 takedowns, only got 3, and yeah, it was kind of a clinch fest for a lot of it. So I wasn't really entertained by this fight, but good win by Soriano regardless. So he should be getting someone outside the top 15, because he is now on a 4-fight win streak. Now, as for the next fight, Nora Cornell versus Jocelyn Edwards. Started off pretty well for Cornell. She was landing her shots in the first round. The traditional kickboxer, as the traditional kickboxer should. Jocelyn Edwards is having problems, but she was landing stuff of her own, but that wasn't the game plan. The game plan was to grapple, and she went out there and she grappled. She did it in the second round, slamming Cornell and popping her shoulder. I don't know what she did to her shoulder, but it was bad, and you saw her crying after the end of the fight. So hope speedy recovery to her. Good one for Jocelyn Edwards, getting the rear naked choke submission. Next fight was Alden Correa versus Luis Garule. Let's call Alden the composed one, because this is his second fight in the UFC, and he made that look easy. He made it look easy. Luis Garule had nothing for him. He was too small out there, and Correa used his reach advantage. He used his reach advantage very well, keeping him at distance, landing whatever he wanted. And yeah, Garule, I mean, he was landing, but nothing significant to hurt Correa. So yeah, good win for him. Someone like a Matt Schnell or a Sumu Darji or a Cody Durden wouldn't be bad for him now at this stage. Give him a little bump up, give him some experienced seasoned guys in this division. But yeah, Alibi Idris versus O'Day Osborne. O'Day Osborne sucks. Simple as that. O'Day Osborne is terrible. You can't convince me otherwise. He's had a couple scraps here and there, but he just loses. Like, he's just here to lose. He's pretty much just a journeyman here to lose, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets cut soon. You're just here to lose. Like, the UFC doesn't want that. Alibi Idris came in and he was just shooting takedowns under your big meaty hooks. You were just shooting hooks, throwing hooks like an absolute tard, and you were missing. Like, bro, that's not how you're supposed to win a fight. He didn't listen to his corner at all, and Alibi Idris cruised to a 30-27 straight on strictly takedowns. But yeah, Carlos Leal and Chidi Njokuani was the next fight, and this fight kind of got me glued to the TV a little bit. This fight got me on the edge of my seat because this was a good fight. Carlos Leal was putting the pressure on him early, and for a little bit I was thinking, hold on, is Chidi breaking? Is he breaking to the pressure of Carlos Leal? Because he does this in every fight, and he's a killer be kill type of guy. You saw that in his last fight against Muslim Salikov, and I was thinking Chidi might do the same thing, crack him and end up, you know, getting the respect of Leal, but nah. Second and third round he was doing it, he was landing more, but Carlos Leal's Mr. Walk You Down. I'm not gonna lie, he's Mr. Walk You Down, and walk him down he did it for all 3 rounds and ended up getting the 30-27. This was the best fight on the card in my opinion, but the next fight was yeah, it was very mid. Zach Reese and Michel Pereira. Michel Pereira ended up getting the win by a split decision, and yeah, it wasn't the greatest fight. Michel Pereira ended up gassing out, and Zach Reese never capitalized on it, as Michel Pereira always does. I don't understand how he has so many wins in the UFC with this terrible cardio. It's a mystery to me, but he got the win, so can't really complain. Jacoby Smith versus Josiah Harrell. Josiah Harrell is not a welterweight. He is too small to be a welterweight. The boy is 5'7" on a good day. What are you doing at 170? What are you doing at 170? There's no reason you should be there. The muscle hamster did not show his muscle on this fight. He was too small, and Jacoby Smith kept him on the outside for the whole fight and did what he wanted. He reversed the takedown and just started hammering elbows, putting Josiah Harrell out cold, and the referee did not get in there on time to stop, because he landed at least another 4 or 5 clean shots before the referee came in and pushed what's his name off of him, Jacoby Smith. But yeah, good win for him, and he called out Kevin Holland, so that would be a very big step up for him, because you know Jacoby Smith, he tends to fade a little bit, and Kevin Holland's not easy to put out. So if he ends up beating Kevin Holland, then we can keep our eyes out for him. But anyway, on to the next fight. Sergey Spivak and Ante Delia. This fight was pretty good for a heavyweight bout, I'm not gonna lie. Believe it or not, these boys were throwing, they were swinging, and yeah, it was a pretty violent fight. I will be honest with you. Sergey Spivak pulled it off, and he surprised me. He definitely surprised me. He outboxed him. And I don't know why he surprised me, because I saw the Waldo fight and I was thinking, yo, hold on, who the hell is this Sergey? Like, when has Sergey Spivak ever done this in his career? Throw hands like he's fucking a prime Cain Velasquez. Like, what are you doing? When have you ever done this? Like, yo, who are you, and what have you done with Sergey Spivak? But yeah, he's been doing it a lot more recently. Even in that Jalton Almeida loss, he was throwing a little bit, and yeah, that's probably why he was an underdog, because you can't be losing to Jalton Almeida on the feet. But yeah, he surprised me and he got the win. Ante Delia is reckless at times. Got busted up in the first round. He came back in the second round, but then the same thing in the third round. He's not composed, and if you lose your composure like that to Sergey Spivak, who are you beating in the top 10? Who are you really gonna beat in the top 10? So yeah, good win for Spivak anyway. I don't know who to give him next. This is a 1-fight win streak, so give him he's probably fought everybody already. I don't know, man. Just feed him to Walter Walker or some shit. Let him snatch his leg, but he's fighting Marcin Tybura, so I don't even know. Next fight was Melky Costa versus Dan Ige. Now Dan Ige finally got put down. This dude has never been finished in his career until last night by Melky Costa. We all thought this was going to decision because, you know, Dan Ige is a tough guy, but Melky Costa's kicks are serious. He is a big featherweight and he keeps people on the at range, and he does it very well. This is a back-to-back kick KO now. He landed a spinning heel kick to Dan Ige's jaw, pinpoint, dropping him and finishing with ground and pound. Even had Dan Ige doing the Jack Della Maddalena face on the ground. That's how serious the kick was. That's impressive, man. That's impressive, and you low-key gotta give him whatever call out he wants. Anybody in the top 10, I'm thinking, or even anybody above him, like a Onama or a Zalal. But yeah, he needs another step up because he's looking serious, and he is someone to watch out for. Anyway, co-main event: Ross Medic versus Jeff Neal. Jeff Neal, man. When I watched this live, I said, damn, I ain't gonna lie, Jeff. You getting slimed out like this in the first round again? It might be time. It might be that time, bro. He's been around for a long time. He was the same guy that gave Shavkat problems, Ian Gary problems. He gave Vicente Luque a brain hemorrhage, and he gave Bilal Muhammad a back-to-back loss. This is the same guy we're talking about. Crazy, right? Crazy world we live in. But yeah, now he's getting slimed out by everybody and anybody in the worst way possible, with his back clattering on the canvas, snot flying out of his nose. And I know, that's bad, bro. I know, like, he has a family, you know, and I know they don't like seeing him getting slammed out like this every time. So he's probably gonna call it quits very soon. Don't be surprised. As for Uros Medic, he called out Rocky at Leon Edwards, which is a pretty good fight. I like this fight, and apparently UFC is going to Serbia, Belgrade, hopefully. So if that happens, this is definitely going to be the main event. Fluffy Hernandez and Sean Strickland, the main event. Wow, boy, was I wrong on this pick, man. Sean Strickland showing why he is still one of the best middleweights in the world. Fluffy couldn't touch him, bro. He could not touch him at all. This shit looked like a rudimentary sparring session for Sean Strickland, bro. No damage on his face, no worries, shuck off all the takedowns. So I don't know what Fluffy was doing, bro. But is this a case of Sean Strickland just being that good or Fluffy being overrated? I think it's a mixture of both, but low-key, I think it is Sean Strickland just being that good. Remember what he did to Imavov on short notice. Remember what he did to Izzy on short notice. Remember what he did to Abus Magomedov when he didn't need to. Showed levels. Remember what he did to Paulo Costa. Remember what he did against DDP in the first fight. Like, these are all top guys except for Abus. Like, I don't know why I mentioned Abus, but he's making these fights look all like sparring sessions, and he's usually coming out on top because nobody can touch him. He always comes out with barely any, bro. Nobody can touch him, bro. He is probably one, like, it's crazy as it sounds, like he might be one of the best strikers. And it is the ugliest style as well. Jab, teep, 1-2, maybe a 1-3 around the guard. Jab, more jab, 1-2, teep, get him away from me. Jab, 1-2. 1-2-3, 1-2, like, bro, 1-2-4, like, bro, it's so basic, but it works. He's second all time in significant strikes, and he's probably up there with one of the best defensively sound strikers out there. Nobody can touch him, and it's crazy. It's won him a lot of fights, and yeah, fair play to him, man. He's probably gonna get a title shot next, or he's gonna rematch Izzy at the end of the year. I see those two circumstances coming to light very soon, or Imavov. I don't know, but it's either a title shot or he's gonna rematch somebody, because he's fought damn near everybody in the middleweight division already. So yeah, that's the card. Now, speaking of Izzy, he is fighting very soon, and I wanted to talk about his fight against Joe Pyfer. I don't know, man. Something tells me that he's gonna lose that fight. Joe Pyfer has so many ways to win. He has so many ways to win. He could sleep Izzy. He could grapple for fight. He could grapple. He's not the best grappler, but he's powerful. He could beat him up like Sean Strickland did, but he's not Sean Strickland. Joe Pyfer is not Sean Strickland, but the blueprint is out there. Izzy has lost 5 fights already. The blueprint is out there. When he switches stances, his guard is terrible. Like his chin is wide open when he switches stances. Like, he thinks he's so ashy and cool, but people have figured him out, and he's been getting sat down left, right, and center. And I think if he gets sat down again, he needs to call it quits. But I'm not Izzy. I'm not in his mind. So the next fight I wanted to talk about was Brandon Moreno and Lonnie Kavanaugh. This one's happening next week, and honestly, I don't know why Lonnie Kavanaugh's taking this. I know it's a short notice replacement for Asu Amabayev, but he's not ready for this. You just got sparked up by Charles Johnson, who's replacing your fight, by the way, against Bruno Silva. I don't like this for Lonnie Kavanaugh, man. If you were losing to Charles Johnson, what's Brandon Moreno gonna do to you? He has so many more ways to win as well. He could beat you up for 5 rounds. Chances are he's probably gonna TKO him in the later rounds, maybe even second or third. But he could even grapple you. He's a better grappler than you. You can't rely on the grappling here, because Brandon Moreno is a great scrambler, great wrestler himself, and he's choked people out before. So what are you really gonna do here, Lonnie Kavanaugh? I don't know how much you've improved in the last 6 months, but we're gonna see anyway. And one more fight I wanted to talk about was obviously the next big title shot, which is the BMF belt, Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira. Now, this fight is interesting. This fight is very interesting. I honestly think this is obviously it's a very razor close fight. Both of these guys are former champions, legends, and BMFs in their own right. So picking this fight is going to be difficult. But if I had to pick someone right now with a strap pointed to my head, I'm picking Max Holloway. I have faith in his takedown defense, and I have faith in his striking. He's a better striker than Charles Oliveira. He's not going to let Charles walk him down, and the 155 power is real. The lighter man scale is real. So yeah, I have Max in that fight. And you know what, let me talk about one more fight. Joshua Van versus Tatsuro Taira in April. That's in Miami. Shout out the young G's, man, finally making a name for themselves. I think this is the first title fight of 2 people born in the 2000s, but correct me if I'm wrong, but Tatsuro Taira is born in 2000, so pretty much it's just 2 young guns going up against each other. That is is crazy, and it's just good to see. But with that being said, I have Joshua Van winning that fight. I think he's gonna get that championship confidence. He's gonna get that champion confidence, and I think he's gonna be able to shuck off enough takedowns to land meaningful shots on the feet, because Tatsuro Taira is not keeping up with him on the feet. Let's be honest here. I think the Ray Surya fight did him wonders. I think those are two similar grapplers, that Japanese style wrestling, the chain, grappling jiu-jitsu. I think the Ray Surya fight prepared him pretty well for that. On top of the Cody Durden fight, he's fought a lot of grapplers. He's fought a lot of grapplers recently, so I think he should be pretty well equipped for Tatsuro Taira. And the MMA triangle: Taira beat Royval, Royval beat Taira, Van beat Royval. So everyone's gonna say Taira beats Van. No, I got Van by decision. Anyway, I'm out of here.